Right.
Sure.
Let's stick with that theme. Let's go to the Western Cape now to check on the protest there. And we're joined by ENCA's Nobesuthu Hejana, who is in Wellington. And so, Nobesuthu, give us a sense then of how it's looking in terms of the statement that the members of the restaurant industry are trying to make from your end.
Well, to us, it will be an understatement to only say that it's the restaurant sector that has only been affected because at least they get to operate but with limited rules or strict rules of them not selling alcohol. But another sector that has been impacted is the events sector because they usually work with restaurants where they have to book spaces for their events. And I'm also joined by Anne, who is part of that sector. Now, Anne, we were talking earlier on and you were mentioning that this is a R1 billion sector. Can you just tell us about the loss that you have accounted for?
Absolutely. I started my business about 20 years ago and our industry was thriving, but it has absolutely boomed in the last 20 years. As you know, travel and tourism has escalated and Cape Town has been sort of renowned for, you know, being one of the top destinations in the world. I've seen businesses start and just grow. They train, they employ. I've seen waiters start out who become staff supervisors who then leave and start their own companies. So the amount of income and revenue and job opportunity and training that our industry provides is absolutely staggering. And I think 5 years ago it was calculated to be in the R1 billion category. We are now literally in 5 months. I'm watching 20 years fold into nothing, fold and just be, you know, decimated, and we have no guidance. There is nothing for us to know when we can start operating in the foreseeable future. We have events and weddings that have been postponed 2-3 times. People are starting to get even more scared and you know, thinking about cancelling, and people are going hungry. You know, we started off trying to keep salaries going and keeping food on the table, but people's money is drying up, and you know, you can only go into debt so much before you have to start wondering when we are going to get a helping hand.
And you're also telling me that because there's no certainty as to when you guys will be operating, so how are you keeping up?
Well, that is the problem. I have a number of colleagues who have taken out loans to pay salaries. You know, they've then gone into half salaries. When that money is dried up, they're feeding families, they're trying to put food on the table. But, you know, that also is a finite possibility. And at some point, even the money just putting food on people's table is going to dry up as well. If we don't have some sort of go-ahead on any level before the end of the year, I think 75% of our industry is going to close down.
And just lastly, can you just paint us a picture as to who's involved in this? Because you were talking about there's caterers and many other people.
Well, on any given event, let's say we host an average event of 200 people. On site on a day, you have about, on average, 80 people working for you. That starts from caterers who have chefs and kitchen hands. You have decor companies who employ stylists, they employ laborers to carry the furniture, they employ truck drivers. You've got florists, you've got sound companies, you've got musicians, you've got lighting companies, you've got waiters, you've got hair and makeup people, transport companies. It is an incredibly extensive industry.
All right. Thank you very much, Anne, for your time. Well, to us, like she said, a number of people are out jobs, and we've seen a number of restaurants in Cape Town or around the Western Cape being permanently closed due to this, because some did mention that they don't think they'll be able to get back where they were before the lockdown.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Our reporter, Nobesuthu Hejana, they're coming to us from the Western Cape. And just on that point regarding the pleas being made by the restaurant industry, I was reading an article where, you know, the sector just feels like government seems to be showing more leniency when it comes to public transport. They seem to have given in when it comes to taxis and their demands of 100% capacity. So if they're going to do that with other sectors, then surely they should be listening to their demands. So it seems that we're bound to have those complaints and concerns.
Always going to have,
yeah.
Especially given the impossibility of physical distancing inside a packed taxi where the restaurant owners and other establishments are telling you that actually, in our case, we could take out a few tables and create more space.
Right, yeah. So we're bound to see sort of like that 100% capacity being endorsed by government, opening that can of worms, where restaurants are saying
but
our space is bigger.
It's a bit difficult if you consider what government's arguments are.
Yeah.
It's not about people actually consuming the alcohol.
Right.
For government, it's about the end of that process on the other end.
Well, I mean, their argument is that they will have a limit of 2 glasses per, order. So I don't know if you can actually even weigh in
that?
I mean, I don't know.